Hi everyone and welcome to Club 1 episode 8 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome to the episode 8. Glad to have you with me. If you're enjoying the series, if you could chuck a like on this video for me, that would be brilliant. Just first off before we get going, I'm not quite getting enough likes on the channel and so I'm not getting seen by as many people as I'd like. So if you could do that for me here and now, it's the most important thing you can do for a channel like mine to help me grow, is to click that like button. So if you could do that, that'd be great. And subscribe to the channel. Keep up to date with the videos. But yeah, enough of that. Let's get into today's episode. So last few games have been pretty good since we were together. And we last played University College Dublin in the first division. We lost 3-0. Very poor result. But we've turned it around a bit since then. We stopped the rot, as it were. There was a bad couple of weeks, wasn't it, really? A couple of losses. And that 8-1 to Wexford, even though we rotated the side round, was very disappointing. But we've stopped the rot. We played Cork City in the Munster Senior Cup semi-final, which we were expected to get absolutely annihilated by them. They are a local rival of ours, a big rival of Cobb Ramblers, and they're also in the division above us. And we came up against them in the semi-final of the Munster Senior Cup, and we beat them. We played really well on that day. Everybody just showed up, and it was just a magnificent game. You can see the likes of Turner and Murphy. Murphy's come into the side more recently and is doing very well, and he'll be playing again today up front with Dunn. But yeah, you can see that we had a brilliant day that day, and it completely transformed our momentum, having had a couple of weeks of poor results. After that, we played Bray Wanderers in the first division, and again we won 2-1 with Murphy getting 2 more goals. You can see, you know, along with the Wexford goal here, he's been on a goal scoring spree, so that's why he's back in the side. After that, we played Limerick in the first division again, and it was a goal fest, 3-all goal fest, but very slightly disappointing, really. If we go and look at the table, you can see that Limerick are bottom of the table, and for us to come across them at the point that we had, with a couple of good wins under our belt, and only get a 3-all draw was slightly disappointing. Having said that, look at this. Board expectation is still remaining the same. The expectation from our board is that we'll finish bottom of the league. And look where we sit. We sit in second place. Cobb Ramblers up in second place. Our run of form recently has been very positive, as I've shown you after that little blip of a couple of weeks. And the good thing about this division so far that I'm finding is that everybody's taking points off everybody. There's nobody running away with it. I mean, Drogheda are currently sitting on the top of the division, but even they've lost 3 times in 13 matches. So have we. We've lost 13 times. We've lost 3 times in 13 matches. So you can see everybody's taking points off everyone else. So that's why it's still quite tight in most of the area. And I would suggest now that we're getting enough of a points clearance away from the sort of bottom 2 places, 3 places, etc. But staying in the top 4 is very difficult. If you lose a game or two, it shifts around very quickly, which is why we need to keep the momentum going. If we go back into our schedule for a second, so if we see that we beat Cork City in the Munster Senior Cup semi-final, that means we now have a cup final. It's not one that the board place much importance on, but it's still a cup final nonetheless. And look who we get to play. Cobb Wanderers. Now they're below us in terms of level 4, I think it is. 3 that they play in. And we're in advancement of that in that sense. So in theory, we should beat these. They've done very well to get to the final. They're an amateur setup, whereas we're semi-professional. And they're direct local rivals to us. So the Munster Senior Cup is always going to be a direct rival, because that's who plays in it, I think, is sort of more local teams. But it's always interesting to get to a final and sort of fight against any of your local rivals for a bit of trophy, a bit of silverware. So that's going to be our next episode. I've got a couple of games in between against Longford and Wexford. Wexford we need to get some revenge on from the last time that we played them. But the next episode will be the Munster Senior Cup final. Not that it matters to the board, but it matters to me. If I can get some silverware, I will happily take it. But today is Cabinteely. Now, up until recently, they were sitting top of the table, but you can see they've dropped off slightly, and it's now Drogheda at the top with us in second place. But it's still a top 4 clash between us and Cabinteely today, and so that's going to be the game that we play. In terms of personnel, we've got a couple of injuries. Cronin and Hurley are both out, so midfield Hurley has come out of the side and had to be reshaped slightly. But other than that, everybody else is fit. I've got Dolan on the bench and Murphy into the team because Murphy's goal scoring exploits recently has deserved it. So he's come into the team. Other than that, it's basically the standard 11 other than Kennedy O'Connor has come in for Hurley. So the team for today is Hunt in goal. Right back is Edwards, left back is Taylor, with O'Riordan and McSweeney in central defence. We've got the central midfield of Buckley and Kennedy O'Connor. We've got Turner on the right, Power on the left, Dunn and Murphy up top, with a bench of Lyons, Fleming, O'Rourke, O'Driscoll, O'Leary, Dolan and Ford. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So in terms of team talk, I've challenged our players for Cobb Ramblers who are playing at home today to give the performance that they're expecting of us here. So who they are is, the fans. It's the fans that they have expectations and we want to match them. So that's the team talk I've gone with, just to see if we can get the best sort of motivated performance out of this group of players. So you can see that it didn't get the best response in terms of motivation or being happy about it, etc. But that's what we've got to deal with. As I say, we're at home, so that's a good thing for us to get our fan support behind us. And we're in reasonably good form, although the last game, the 3-3 draw, was a bit disappointing, but it's not too bad in terms of form. So I'm hopeful that today we can achieve something and potentially put a bit of a gap between us and the team just directly below us in the table. Loose ball there, and Dunn picks it up, but they get a foot in, but we again pick up the loose ball. Out to Turner on the right hand side. Can he find a way through? He gets blocked off, but goes back to Edwards, who puts the ball through to Dunn. Is he onside? He's onside, and no, he was offside, but he got the shot away and the goalkeeper parried it away anyway. But a good early opportunity down that right-hand side for Turner to get the ball in with Edwards. And there's a brilliant ball. Again, it was Turner and Edwards playing one-touch football with each other. Here we go. You watch this. For Edwards, comes in. Turner back to him. Edwards on the volley. And Power on the volley at the far post. Pokes the ball home. And it's 1-0. Lovely build-up play. And a lovely finish by Power, who's also done pretty well recently, which is positive. Our attacking players are really beginning to get into their stride, it feels like. So Turner on the free kick, takes the shot, and the goalkeeper just about gets the ball out, but Kennedy O'Connor on the follow-up, and we're 2-0 up after 22 minutes, which is brilliant. So a good shot here by Turner, hits the post, hits the goalkeeper, trundles along the line, and it's Kennedy O'Connor that is reacting quicker than anybody else. And the first half is going very, very well. I'm very happy with it. Let's see if we can just cement that for the next 15 minutes leading into half time and go in with a real positive scoreline. Goal kick for them. They pick up the loose ball, but again lose it, and we take advantage of that. Murphy onto Dunn, but the ball is cleared over the top for Waters to run onto for them. But good goalkeeping. Stood up very tall and took advantage of the fact that it was hit straight at him. Corner comes in, and the goalkeeper at Hunt comes and claims it again very, very comfortably, which is really positive. He was unhappy for a while that I hadn't particularly improved the squad from his perspective, but even he can see that we're sitting in second place at the moment, so that can't be the case. So in the end, he dropped his concerns, and now he's more happy to be here, which is great. Opportunity for us to counter from their goal kick. Power picked up the loose ball, gets it into Murphy, and there's the goal scoring machine of the day. He's been doing so well recently. That's like his 6th goal in the last 4 or 5 games, I think, something like that. But yeah, brilliant. And I'm really impressed by the service that they're now getting from all angles of the pitch. And this time it was Power coming in, and Murphy with his left foot pokes it home into the far corner, and the goalkeeper didn't even move, did he really? And that should take us through to half time, and it does. So Stuart Ashton, our assistant manager, is suggesting that we let the boys go out there with clear minds. We don't need to address anything at this stage. I think that's a wise move. We're 3-0 up. I don't want to upset anything. Although, having said that, we've got a couple of uninterested and complacent players, which I'm not happy about. We might do a shout halfway through the second half, maybe. So I am going to just leave it alone, not touch anything, and go straight back into the second half. You can see our match conditioning and fitness is pretty good at the moment, so I don't need to change anything for that at this point in the game. We've again been able to rotate a little bit here and there. Poor goal kick from Hunt, and on the counter-attack, Cabinteely come back at us, get to the area, have a pot shot, but it goes over the top of the bar, and in the end it didn't quite trouble the goalkeeper as much as it probably should have, and that's positive. I'll take that. But we'll we need to be a bit more clear in terms of our passing and maintaining possession if we can. So Buckley over the top, but again a loose ball, and it goes directly over the top for Waters to run onto again, and again it's Hunt that is the last man of defence and stands up straight and eventually parries the ball out for a corner kick. Corner comes in to the 6-yard box, the sort of penalty spot area, and they maintain possession on the top of the penalty area and gone all the way back for their defence. Can we now reset our shape and get a decent challenge in somewhere? Well, there's a challenge. I don't know how decent it was. It looks like Taylor's got himself into trouble here. Is it a yellow or a red? How bad was it? It was a yellow card. Okay, that's fine. We can cope with that. But, he did what I wanted, was get a foot in, but it was a slightly uncontrolled foot, let's say. Off the free kick, it's playing pinball a bit in the penalty box, and eventually the highlight finishes there. But we didn't quite really get it cleared ourselves, did we? We were a bit lucky. 70-odd minutes gone, so just before they take their throw-in, we're going to have a look and see where our team is at. You can see that Buckley is the one that's still uninterested, so we're going to take him out and put O'Rourke in. And we're going to take Dunn off because he's been a bit quiet today, and bring Dolan on, and we've got one more sub that we can make, and I'm going to take away the yellow card just so we don't get ourselves into difficulty with that, and go straight back into the game and sort of play out the last 20 minutes or so. An opportunity for Cabinteely to come forward, and they get it on the edge of the box, and it was a good shot, wasn't it? Left-footed, although I think the goalkeeper probably should have done better with that. We'll check that out on the replay. Does he get a hand to it? And if he does, he probably should have done better. So, a good sweeping ball across from left to right. We get an opportunity to clear it. Doesn't go very well though, does it? And in the end, it's Dalton who finds the ball at his feet on the top of the penalty box. And he comes and whacks the ball home. And as I said, Hunt did get a hand to it, but wasn't quite strong enough. And I'm a bit disappointed that he wasn't able to keep a clean sheet, really. I think that's more about his error than a really great strike. But yeah, there you go. That happens. We've still got a decent advantage in this game, and it looks like the time is ticking away, and we're going to grab all 3 points today. 92 minutes gone, one highlight left maybe, and it's us coming forward. Good movement of the ball from midfield into the striking positions and then back again. O'Rourke brings it forward again. Turner takes over. Back to O'Rourke playing keep ball. And there's Power. Can he poke it through? No, we lose out. But we regain possession straight away. Lyons with the long ball over the top. Murphy onto it. He couldn't quite get hold of it in the way he should have. And the goalkeeper claimed it quite comfortably. But it was some good keep ball in the middle of the park then for a while, which is really positive. A good foot in by O'Connor. And then Power picks up the loose ball and again goes straight over the top. And this time it was for Dunn to run on, Dolan to run onto. But he didn't quite do so, did he really? Yeah, disappointing that, but never mind. And now Hunt has the ball, and we've got about 10 seconds left. That's been very highlight heavy for the last minute or so of the game, hasn't it? Which is most surprising. It normally just sort of peters out at this point. Quite what that was from Hunt, I'm not 100% sure, but he just booted it out of the side of the pitch to give them one last opportunity to come at us before the final whistle. Are they going to take it? Long ball comes in. There's the attempt. And fortunately, Hunt gets hold of the ball again. we weren't making it easy for ourselves, were we? But in the end, we had a decent 3-1 win against a very direct rival to us. So you've got to be happy with that. So passionately, we're going to say I'm very pleased with the result and the performance. And they're all delighted with that. I'm delighted with it. We'll go through the news feed and see what that's got to say. Dunn gets one over on Cabinteely. I guess he used to play for them. Great. He didn't play particularly well himself today, but the team did, and that's all that matters really. And you can see we got another achievement, full faith or whatever that said. Okay, whatever, fine. But yeah, look at this, a bit of a gap, a 4-point gap now between us and third place and fourth place, both on 19 points each. And you can see that we're just beginning to get to the point where that top 4 spot is becoming a slightly more, a slightly more nailed on, let's say, which if we can manage a top 4, I will be so pleased by that, considering we were supposed to finish bottom. But yeah, anyway, that'll do it for this particular episode. If you remember, we talked about coming back for the cup final, the next episode, in the Munster Senior Cup final against local rivals Cobb Wanderers. So we're going to come back for that one. I'll play Longford and Wexford in between times and see if we can keep this good run of form going and maintain our spot in the top 4. So thanks very much for joining me. If you're enjoying the series, why not subscribe to the channel and keep up to date with the videos. If you like this particular episode, please click that like button for me. It's so important to help the growth of my channel by getting more likes on it. So if you could do that for me, that would be great. If you're playing Football Manager yourself, let me know how you're getting on in the comments below. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon, and bye for now.